Okay, before I get into today's story, I would be remiss if I didn't say anything about what's going on in Brazil today. Especially considering, because a lot of the people who watch my show know I'm Brazilian, there's a lot of Brazilians watching this. People always come to me whenever something crazy makes the international news. Something in Brazil turns up in the homepage of CNN or whatever. A lot of my Canadian American friends come up to me and say like, hey, what's that? So let me try to sum it up. We had a president recently, first female president of Brazil. She was mentored by the outgoing president, who was a very polarizing figure in Brazilian politics. She was impeached not exactly because of political crimes, but because she fucked up the budget or something. So her vice president took over, but he was rumored to have orchestrated her ousting as a president. Also, side note, he's believed by many to be an actual real-life sorcerer, like a war, like people actually think he made a deal with the devil. Just to situate you here. So this guy, the vice president, was caught on tape trying to bribe someone for their silence. So he's apparently on the chopping block. But now here's the thing. Brazil is so fucked, politically speaking, and in many other ways too, but politically speaking, it's so dirty that most of this succession line is also ineligible to hold office. So nobody even knows who exactly, like if they oust this guy, we're gonna have a second impeach in less than 1 year, which is fucking crazy. And even if that happens, it's not entirely clear who's gonna be president. There's one guy, one of the guys who's like next in succession, like after all the dirty guys that can't really be president. There's one guy who's not actually, he's a politician, but he wasn't even born in Brazil, so it's fucked. It's fucked. The succession line in Brazil right now is so fucked up, it's so messy that I might end up president. Anyway, MRI. Last summer, I had a freak slip and slide accident. I have it on tape. Why do we still say on tape? We haven't used tapes in decades now. It's on here. It's on here, okay? Anyway, this is what happened.
Oh, careful, careful, careful! I think I dislocated my shoulder. Help here!
I've always had a bum shoulder my whole life, and this is the first time that I dislocated it due to trauma. So I was rushed to the hospital, and they put it back in place. They shot some stuff into my nose to ease the pain, and I was referred to an orthopedist. I think it's what it's called. I think I'm pronouncing it right. And I got acquainted with Canadian healthcare. Now, see, we don't pay for it. I mean, we pretend we don't pay for it. We pay for it. I've seen my pay stubs. I'm paying for that shit. At least we don't pay for it on the spot, right? Like, you break, something happens to your health, at least you're not financially fucked for the rest of your life. So there's that. Anyway, they book an MRI for like 8 months later, and this was a couple of days ago. So I drive there. It's like a hospital as far away from my house as possible. There's many other hospitals closer to my place, but apparently this is the brand spanking new hospital, and they have the fancy whatever. And so I get there. I've seen an MRI machine in movies before, but I never had to do anything like that. So what they do is they give a gown, right? Because the first thing they want out of you is your dignity. They want you to just, you know what I mean, right? Like just. Yeah. You know what? This machine is some weird technological wizardry that penetrates the muscle and the tissue and everything, and it images everything. I refuse to believe that it can't see through a t-shirt. But anyway, so I lie down there, they give me some information. I had to like fill out a form saying that I don't have a pacemaker, I don't have earrings, or I'd never gotten, I haven't had a recent tattoo, I don't have a penile implant. They actually asked that, and I imagine, because if you forget, I want to think that the reason they included that is because they didn't have that before, and that thing just shot right through somebody's dick, right in the middle of the, what do you call it, MRI room? I want to believe that. Anyway, I sign my life away, I give it back to them, go to the room, they give me the gown, lie down on the thing, and then they start wedging all of these pillows under me because I'm supposed to be super, like, snug and still while they put me inside this giant metal. It feels like, now I know what it feels like to be inside a can of pop. Can of soda for you Americans. Get with the program. It's pop, okay? It's kilometers, it's liters. It's so much, life is just so much easier. Just, you guys are like the last ones holding up. Okay, never mind. So I go into this machine, and then they give you headphones, they wedge you in. So she puts this thing that's like the camera over my shoulder, she wedges all these pillows, so I'm like I'm a mummy. At this point, I'm basically a mummy, and it slides me into this thing, and the walls of the thing are like maybe, I don't know, like 5 inches from my fucking face. Yes, I just used inches. for your benefit, but that's the last time I'm doing that. So she's talking to me through the headphones, saying that she gives me like a little thing to squeeze. If I freak the fuck out and need to get out of there immediately, I imagine this thing just like shoots. It's like an eject. I want to think it's an eject button that just like shoots me out if I'm freaking the fuck out. So, and then she's talking me over the headphones, and then the machine starts running, and there's all these cracky noises and all this shit popping in it. It's very noisy. I don't know why it's so fucking noisy. It's weird that this like space age, super state-of-the-art, high-tech equipment makes as much noise as a fucking jackhammer. I don't understand why. You know, it's funny, when I was younger and I'd see like my grandparents, they were always complaining, they were walking funny, they have weird pains, they have to take all this medication. I always thought, you know, when my body starts shutting down like that, it's gonna fucking suck. And that happened way sooner than I anticipated. Like I said, my shoulder has always been bad. This is just the first time that I got dislocated by ramming into somebody. So it's like, it was a traumatic event. They were worried that something tore, something broke, whatever. Anyway, when I'm inside this metal thing, that's when I realized I'm actually pretty claustrophobic. And not only that, but you're not supposed to move, because if you move, it fucks up the reading and then it has to start from scratch. And speaking of scratch, that is that moment when you can't move at all. That's exactly when every cell in your body, every muscle fiber you have, everything starts to itch. So there's something in my nose, and I couldn't have my glasses on, so my nose is itching. I'm like trying to, oh fuck, it was the worst. It's the worst. But it's all done. I made it out okay. I was hoping, you see, worst case scenario, if I develop superpowers, I already had a supervillain name picked up. I had a list of people ready to fuck up, but nothing happened. I'm waiting for the results now. It's gonna take probably, I mean, it took 8 months to schedule this thing, so maybe I'll get the results before, let's say, this Christmas. But you know, it's interesting, right? Like, my takeaway from that experience is that getting an MRI sucks, if possible. Don't get one. And I feel good that, you know, okay, I had to wait. It sucks that I had to wait that long, but I will say again, it's better to just having to wait for this thing than to come out the other end financially ruined. So, you know what? People, like the Americans, say a lot of shit about Canada, about our socialized medicine and all that. People's Republic of Canada, I've heard some people throw around on Twitter. But I'm glad I still have a home, so yay! Anyway, I gotta go to work, so I'll see you guys next time. See, true story, you see this? My 100,000 subscribers plaque from my main channel. It was actually higher up on my wall, and I actually moved the nail down so it'll show up in video, so you'll know that somebody cares about what I say. Somebody out there.